I'm just trying to get it. I'm doing very small movements because I'm trying to get both of you like more centered than you are. There's a lot of dead space next to her, then there's a lot of dead space next to you. Mama's side is prettier.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, of course.
Sounds like someone left their coffee.
Sacred space. Reach of sacred space. I'm going to give it a few moments.
I've already got 7 people.
Oh, thank
The
you.
phantom voice says from above.
Well, welcome back to our space here. Come on in, have a seat, make sure you're comfy. Grymm and I are going to wait just a few minutes because I know some people have some connectivity issues, and so we'll just give it a few minutes for folks to find their way here.
Earlier,
It's been a really incredible day, hasn't it?
We've been doing Perpetual Cauldrons. I'm surprised that you told me since 2015. That actually caught me off guard. But as I went through our old Facebook feeds and our old YouTube videos and saw some of the thumbnails and watched some of the clips from the past ones, I did a little of that today. Brought back some of the memories of those. And I can honestly say that today's cauldron is,
Your favorite?
I don't want to say my favorite because they all,
I mean, like the butterfly cauldron from a few years ago.
oh yeah,
That was a really beautiful.
that was a beautiful one. But there was something about the cone of power that built up around this one that just shocked me.
Right.
When I go outside and leave the influence of what we're doing on the inside of this building, I can feel very little difference
Right.
because that cone of power pushed out beyond the boundaries of this building. So
Sure did.
this was my, I can say probably the most powerful one that we've ever generated.
Sure, I agree with you. And you know, this whole week, there has just been more and more, for lack of a better way to say it, watch yourself with that, like paranormal sort of moments throughout the week that more and more people experienced as we had gatherings here. And even this evening, you told them a little bit about it already?
Not anything more than we had a paranormal experience. We'll tell you more about it later. Let's just say it was a phantom voice.
Right.
Or sound but go ahead.
Right. So we were in the adjacent room here, and
The bride's room.
the door was closed, and we were talking to Shar actually, and from up in the corner of the room, all 3 of us heard this whoosh sound, and Grymm actually thought he heard
Well,
a voice.
I was up in the loft. You and Char were down below.
Yeah, we were down below, and you were up in the loft, and we felt or heard this whoosh, very feminine, very soft sound, and it went kind of flying right by Char's head. It kind of swirled and flew by,
and I heard the same noise from upstairs, right above you,
and then you heard.
And then I went walking towards the stairs to say something to you guys because you had just asked me a question. So as I was getting up to answer that, I heard that whooshy sound, and I went, "What was that?" to myself. That was odd. And then as I started to walk down the stairs, I heard a very faint far off in the distance, coming from the other end of the room, a woman's voice hollering out in fear. It helped me. My brain didn't quite process it. You two were having your conversation about the whoosh still.
Right, because the whoosh was great.
So I'm trying to get your attention. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that?
We
And
didn't hear that.
And as I was
Talking part.
saying it again, Shar and I both heard another woman's voice. I don't know if she heard it say anything, but I heard it distinct help me.
Well, Grymm, you know, a lot of stories have been told in this church today. A lot of memories re-sparked, a lot of thoughts shared, a lot of energy put toward this establishment and maintenance of this perpetual cauldron all day long. And I, for one, I'm going to sleep well tonight. I feel like I have communed off and on, all day long, all week long, all month long, really, but sort of walking on cloud nine today.
It's been a very etheric day for me.
It has been.
And before we officially read the last list, there's a couple of housekeeping details that I want to take care of. And the first one is thanking the energies, the deities, the powers, the elements, the fae, all of those energies that helped contribute to the magic of today.
And you.
And you. Go, definitely you. We do this not just for ourselves. We do it whether we had nobody with us on camera or not. It's come to mean that much to us. But the energy that you would contribute to this means a lot. All week long leading up to this ancestral live stream, we've been on pins and needles because the internet's been
The
choppy
internet has
at
been
best.
basically out since Thursday.
Yes.
And I haven't been able to work on the Purple Door Easy. We've been out of communication with folks. You know,
It's just been one of those weeks. We
It's
missed
been very
an important live stream that we wanted to do. But this ancestral perpetual cauldron that we do every year must mean something to the ancestors as well. Because starting at 9 a.m. this morning, we went live.
we've had very few
And
problems.
other than one or two little hiccups throughout the day, the internet has stayed strong and stable.
Even though the rest of the building
The
doesn't
rest
have
of
it.
the building doesn't have it. Next door doesn't have it. The internet is still not back yet.
They can't figure out how we have it. Not joking. But here we are.
I thank the energies that have contributed to allowing this live stream to take place as problem-free as it has. That has contributed greatly to the cone of energy that has been built up around us. As we prepare to light the final cauldron of the night, is that the new tea?
No, actually, I wanted to share my tea.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to share my tea, and hopefully you'll make me a new cup, because I just realized this is kind of cold, and I would rather have a nice, fresh, hot cup of tea as we read the
You want it in
ancestors'
one of
name.
your fancy teacups? Or
Yes, put it in a white one, but just a minute, Grymm, because I've got two
Okay.
different kinds. I wanted to share with everybody, she's a dear friend and sister of ours, Reverend Patience, with Indigo Psychics. They have their own coffee and tea company, and so she sent us, well, me really, because I'm a tea-aholic. They have coffee as well, but she, you know.
Let's face it.
You're on your own, Grymm. I got tea.
Let's face it, you're the one that spends time on her podcast.
I
not
do.
me.
So the two kinds I have here, Love Potion, Jasmine Tea, and of course, Indigo Psychics, Victorian Seance. Well, of course I have to pick the Victorian Seance for this evening. So let's take a sniff here. I know they don't, this doesn't sit on the shelf for great extended periods of time. When you place your order, they package it then. I've always got to. Ooh.
Gotta get that first sniff.
Ooh, that is a nice dark tea. Ooh. Smells lovely.
Do you get some ideas of what's in it based on the smell?
Well, it smells like either like an Earl Grey or a breakfast tea of some sort. But I honestly, I can't read the fine print down there. So I can't read what it says. But do you mind preparing me a cup?
Not at all. I like the label. Do
Tiny
you mind if I
teaspoon.
show them the label before I?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, never mind.
Fail?
Fail. Not enough light.
Yeah.
But yes, I'll prepare you tea, a teaspoon
Yeah,
of
just,
sweet
yep.
directly into the hot water.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
So Grymm and I were planning on writing the names of our ancestors in our Book of the Dead that we found. This has been missing for several years, and we're so glad to have it back. It's in really good shape still, and we want to enter, well, it looks like it was a little bit chewed on here and there, but still in pretty decent shape. We want to enter the names of the ancestors that were shared with us today. And I was going to do that while we sat here and chatted with you, but it's very important to me that I get the spelling of the names correct. And so rather than doing it while I'm tired and after Grymm has put forth so much effort all day long, we are going to do it in a private ceremony, just he and I and the names, and then we will share it with you. So rest assured, we're still going to read the names this evening, and they will go in the book, but they're not going to go in there tonight, because I just want to make sure I get the names spelled correctly. So.
And you can use your prettiest handwriting.
Right, and I'm not tired. Thank you, Grymm. Oh, I'm excited about this. Ha ha ha.
Whilst this water is heating for the tea, do you want to go ahead and call in
Not without you
reinforce?
here. Perfect timing. I need to put a cordless tea kettle on my Christmas wish list. I think we left that at the bus, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
My tea kettle. Well, that's all right. We improvise. We are ish-witches. We are resourceful. We're just waiting a few minutes while Grymm's making me a cup of hot tea, because I really, really wanted to drink some of Reverend Patience's tea this evening, in honor of all of the ancestors that we've mentioned, and thank you, sir. I'll trade you. Thank you. And I'll need a teaspoon.
You want one of them fancy there, antique silver
Please,
ones?
please, a fancy silver one.
Well, all you need here, I'm having the least fancy.
Oh, come on. Silver one's fine. Doesn't have to be fancy.
You said that as I put fingers above
As
it.
you dumped all of the silverware.
No, just one.
Oh, that is a fancy spoon.
Let me-
Lovely.
Just check on the status here really quick. Make sure we're doing good. Okay. All systems are still go.
Excellent.
So what's the name of the tea again? Something seance?
Victorian seance.
Victorian seance. That is a fitting.
Indigo Psychics. Victorian seance tea. I have to let it steep a little bit longer. So why don't we do our
Before we start the actual ancestral ceremony, let's take a moment to get ourselves centered, focused, and grounded. Rooted in the ethereal. Grounded in the potential. Connected to the ancestors. Mother, Father, God, Goddess, the elements, the Fae, the energies and entities that serve the greatest and highest good of us all. Thank you for attending this ceremony that we started this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Throughout the day, we have called the names of many ancestors, recounted the stories of some others. Throughout it all, we have felt the energies that you have contributed to today's ceremony. The fires that burn behind us are the ancestral hearth fires of those that came before us. Thank you for attending this ceremony. Those fires are lit with the element of fire, that element which is light and life. We thank it for its contributions to this ceremony. Fire could not burn without air, that sacred element of life that breathes through us all. That element that drifts through the atmosphere that we breathe in, those healing breaths, expelling what it is that we no longer need. Fire cannot burn without earth, for something needs to be solid to be burned. Even a gas that burns, its molecules on some level are solid. The wicks of our candles are made of things of this earth, providing what is needed for the fire to burn. That earth from which we draw our ground, our stable foundation, our support. That earth that we stretch deep into the roots of ourselves, our very being, seeking out the energies, the darkness, those places that our ancestors now live. To extinguish the flame, we use water. It cleanses the flame of all toxins, releasing the smoke and the steam, which is water. Water is cleansing, it is purifying, it is nurturing, it is also life. We thank it for the energy that it has contributed to the ceremony. The fire that I now light in this cauldron represents the fire of all of those that came before us. It represents the combined life energy of all of those that came before us. It represents the magic, the combined magic of all of those that came before us. It represents the combined successes of all of those that came before us. But more than anything else, it represents the hurts, the combined pains, the combined traumas, the combined hurts and failures, letdowns, the combined experiences that created the shadows, the hurts that were passed down from one generation to the next, manifesting within yourself. Creating a situation where when faced with a stress, a trauma, you don't respond with your true natural self. You respond with the combined screams of pain of all those that came before you, responding to their hurts and traumas. We burn this fire to burn away the darkness, the shadows that prevent us from being the true shining lights that we are. We burn away the excuses we give ourselves for our failures and our letdowns. We burn away the shadows cast upon us by others, those judgments used against us as weapons. We burn away the binds of energy that connect us to those that would seek to do us harm. We burn away the toxic vibrations that have been handed down, father to son, mother to daughter. We burn away those energies that allow others to make excuses for their poor behaviors. The self-destructive energies. We burn away all that does not serve our greatest and highest good. We cast into the flame those hurts that prevent us from responding as our true selves. We take this flame, we hold it high aloft to light our way. And when we grow tired and feel the weight of the world on our shoulders and we think we cannot take another step, we know that there are others in the darkness with their own flames, their own lights held high for others to see. Lean into those energies. So when your flame does go dim,
Doesn't want to be put out yet, Grymm.
when your flame does go dim, under the weight of the worries and the stresses and the fears, you can draw upon the energy of those around you that are on the same quest of sovereignty.
There's a lot of energy going into this cauldron right now.
It's a huge amount. And it is burning clean and hot. Barely a wisp of smoke. Showing that the intentions that we're putting into this fire are being transmuted and transformed and recycled back into the universe.
Brought forward again with our greatest and highest good in mind. Our next best step, guided by the ancestors, guided by their light, guided by their understanding.
The light from this flame doesn't end just because we no longer see it. The energy released continues on, illuminating outwards in an ever-expanding circle of radiating light and energy. That radiating light and energy
It's
expand.
taken off like this all day.
expends ever outward, encompassing everything that it touches, until it finally reaches the bounds of space, the universe, a universe of infinite potential. If anything and everything can exist at once, anything and everything, it can exist at once. Reach into that void of endless possibility and pluck from it the light that you seek and draw it into yourself. Use it to ignite your inner fire, that fire deep in your belly, that inner fire that burns your soul, your passion, your desires, your need to create, your need to be passionate about everything in this life.
There's nothing wrong with that. Don't hold yourself back anymore for worry and fear of what others might think of how you're behaving. If you're being your truest self, not being marred by shadows, and being guided in a direction that isn't of your truest nature, your most authentic self, why not take off that mask?
Every experience that could ever be had, every emotion that could ever be felt, has already happened. Your ancestors have already experienced those things in their way and in their time.
Your higher self already knows.
Your higher self already knows. Is exactly right, Gussie. Or what is your higher self but a conglomeration of every life you've ever lived and experienced with every ancestor that's ever lived, and not just in this 3D reality, but in every potential reality and possible reality that can ever exist, has existed, or will exist.
Everything all at once.
Everything all at once. That's where our ancestors dwell at this time. That's where you dwell at this time. That fire is still going. That is working with the ashes and the energies and the waxes and the salts and everything that has been added to this cauldron throughout the day.
There was one more thing I wanted to add as a last ingredient, but I'm wondering if you put it in the soup instead.
What is that?
A little rosemary for remembrance.
When you say a little rosemary,
A little rosemary.
for remembrance, you're getting a little rosemary.
Oh boy. You used the rest of the sprig in the soup, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I noticed as I was tasting a bite, a little sprig of rosemary, and I thought, he done used my rosemary
I
for
used
the
your
cauldron.
rosemary for- Yeah.
It's okay, I forgive you, I love you.
But
Let me see what you have.
the universe said you need rosemary tonight, so
I heard you say, oh, thank the goddess.
yes, I did.
All right. So, is it time to read off the names, you think? Or there's still some things you wanted to say?
There's not much more I wanted to say. I don't know how much energy I've got left, but we'll give it a go.
And rosemary for remembrance of all those ancestors, named and unnamed, whose presence we feel here with us this evening. We are honored that you shared this space with us. We feel honored to have shared your stories. Thank you for connecting us, and thank you for
Supporting us.
very life we live is because of those people.
I can't do the names until the flames die and the smoke can rise.
Well, then I'm gonna sip this tea.
You sip that tea, you tell us what you think.
Okay.
But I'm happy with the magic in this cauldron right now.
Me too.
So this is seance,
Hasn't burned like that all day.
Victorian seance.
Yes. Mhm. It's not nearly as strong as I thought it would be,
Mhm.
because it presents itself as a really dark tea.
Yeah, it has the smell of a really dark tea.
It does. So, but it's smooth. It's not, sometimes dark teas
Yeah,
hit my tummy in a certain way. And this one does not. This is a very gentle, if you will. Like a breakfast tea, almost like along that kind of easing you into the morning kind of thing. But what I like about it is, well, let me have a few more sips.
and I've got to ask, as you take another sip, could you use it in a seance? Is it
Oh.
aptly named?
Oh, yes. And also, that's why I had you pour loose leaf in here so that I could try it out
Ah,
doing some tea leaf readings when I'm finished.
the fire's still smoldering away over here.
Mm.
You know, I have an affinity with fire. It's been something that's been with me my entire life. Fire. I can play in it, touch it. It doesn't bother me. I can grab hot things, poke my finger in hot coffee to stir it. Is the soup done? Is the meat cooked? Is the stove
Right.
hot enough?
If ever I am too frightened to touch it because of heat,
Mm-hmm.
I know that you won't genuinely feel the same level of heat that I do.
Right. And even the shower, I have to have it's all hot all the way.
Right.
Water, on the other hand, is more your element in that regard.
Water and air.
Water and air, and I am very much the fire and earth. I've worked with fire many times in almost every ceremony or ritual in some way, shape, or form since I've started walking this pagan path. Today is the first time that I lit a fire at 9 in the morning and maintained it for a ceremony in this way. Every candle that was extinguished so we could replace them was not blown out but pinched out. And I talked about this
I
a
mean,
little
you
bit
really
ago.
committed yourself
Yes,
to this whole process.
I was not going to. I'm not going to say offend the ancestors, because they wouldn't have cared if the candles never got relit. But for me, the candles today meant my commitment, my desire to show thanks to the ancestors through the element of fire.
I wanted to tell you earlier today, on a side note, it's a real blessing as High Priestess to know that the High Priest by my side has my back. Because I have not felt well this week, and you really, I mean, like, you amazed me today with your level of conviction to this Perpetual Cauldron. I don't think anyone that was a participant today is just going to be shocked at how much energy you put into this, and I know the ancestors felt it, feel it, I feel it, And I know that we appreciated all of the tending you did, all of, every candle extinguishing, every lighting, every tearing of sage, every, whatever you burned and whatever you mixed in there, you know, I just, it was a really remarkable experience, unlike any other Perpetual Cauldron we've done.
Thank you.
So thank you for doing that.
I really felt a calling to make this a benchmark ceremony.
The only way we could improve on it is next year if we have friends, family surrounding us.
Yes, this is our Christmas.
It's our New Year, our Christmas.
Yes. But as I was saying about the candles really quick before we head out, is throughout the day, many have noticed that as a candle needed to be replaced, I wouldn't blow the flame out. I would pinch it out and then light the new candle with one of the existing flames. I touched on it earlier today in a little talk about the candles, but the reason I pinch them out during the ceremonies is because I don't want to disperse the energy. I don't want to send the energy out. I want to recycle it right back into my next candle. Typically, at the end of the ceremony, when we're done and wrapping things up, is when I would blow the candle out, dispersing that energy out into the universe, filled with all of the intentions that we had built throughout the day. One of those intentions that we have is to read names that were submitted to us throughout the day. Read the names during a ceremony where we would write those names into a book, our sacred book of ancestors. Gussy doesn't know this, but as we were doing the last bit of this, I kept asking myself, how can we do honor reading the names, ringing the bell, ring the name, ring the bell, say the name, ring the bell. It sounded quaint and nice. But I think what I would ask and hope that we could do, and with your graces out there in the internet world, is we're going to save the name reading for the private ceremony that we're going to use when we do fill the names into the book. Something that we will film and produce or send out into the world for you to see. So what I would like to do instead tonight is let the candles burn. Ring the bell for the ancestors. And wrap it up. Are you okay with this?
Mind if we just sit here in silence for a while?
Before or after we wrap it up?
After, I guess.
It doesn't matter to me when. But before we do sit in silence for a moment, I should probably speak louder. That's part of the problem I'm having too. Is done a lot of talking today. Before we do take that moment of silence, for every person that submitted a name to this ancestral ceremony, we thank you and we honor those ancestors that you provided, both named and unnamed, because I know that your list that you submitted doesn't include everyone in your heart, in your soul, in your vibrational string. We honor all of those as well. Thank you for the energy that you contributed to the flame that burned today. Anything you want to add before we go silent for a while? So we're going to sit here in silence and meditation for a while. When the right amount of time has gone by, I think Gussy's going to attempt to read some leaves potentially. No? Okay. Then we'll, well, I mentioned it earlier. So we're going to sit here for silence in a while, and when the right amount of time has gone by, we'll wrap this up and say goodnight.
include the tea leaf reading when we write the names in the book. It's been a long 12 hours. I feel like I could sit in this energy, and maybe I will, for the next half hour, the next hour. It's both comforting and healing, and the great amount of respect that I feel gathered in this space, and the love is just tremendous. On that note, no, on this note, I close this Perpetual Cauldron 2023, Samhain 2023, in honor of the ancestors near and far, this realm and beyond. There's still an ember in there.
Is there really?
Yep. You could probably get it going right down in there.
Oh my goodness, there really is. I brought up what we're currently streaming to see if there's anything in the comments that we want to respond to or not. We're just sitting here.
Lots of love and lights. I felt such a connection to everyone today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and share this experience. Blessed Samhain, much love all. Thank you, Gussy and Grymm, for honoring even the unnamed. Thank you, miss you so much. We love you all too, and we're so honored to be a part of your lives and to share ancestors together, because they're all part of our story. I can't wait to enter those names in the book, and I promised a tea leaf reading, and I will deliver.
Lots of hearts floating by. You know, we've been, over the years, we've saved our ashes from different ceremonies. This one's going to need a special jar.
I think we're going to need to make, I would like to make candles with some of the ashes mixed in.
Oh.
Right.
So
'Cause that's beautiful.
I know.
I will take a picture. It's quite lovely. It's really quite lovely.
It really is. This whole event. Yeah. It's been a while since you and I have really fallen into the magical flow like that. It felt good.
Well, it kind of feels like we've come home a bit, you know.
Yeah. There's something, this building is.
I know. Those of you that have been fortunate enough to visit the old church with us, I know Shannon has been here, and Chris Kuhn, and Shannon's Michael has been here, and Chris's Martin has been here. I'm not naming them correctly. And there's a fair number of you that have either attended a Mystic Fair or visited us here for one reason or another, but it's really a magical space. It really is. It's a beautiful space that, you know, every time I'm out in the front, I'm just honored to be a part of its history as well. Yeah.
But this building does something to me that very few have done in the past, and that's, you feel almost like you're being hugged when you walk in. Almost everybody that we meet that walks through the doors has the same, you can almost see a visible relaxation go through them. And there's one building in particular that used to do that to me, and that was the old Bishop Hotel.
Yeah, the Bishop Hotel.
I get very much the same, almost like a caretaker feeling for her. She lends herself well for what we're doing.
She does. Oh, I'm tired. Are you tired? You must be tired.
I have reached.
Or are you energized right now?
I feel like I'm not energized. I am tired.
There's
But
still magic afoot, Grymm.
But there's still something that's lacking, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. Oh.
Go on.
All right.
But maybe, I mean, it is that kind of night. Wild energies abound.
You know what it is?
What's that?
I haven't had a candy bar, and it's Halloween.
This is the first actual year that I know that we've been together that we haven't had Halloween candy. Usually he starts as soon as it comes out.
Wow.
In September. See, that just goes to show we are doing better on our health.
That does seem to be the case there, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I'm trying to get to the messages or the chats here, but thank you, Gussy, for the energy, the effort, the magic that you start wrapping into these type of things days in advance. I know that you start drawing in your energies, your powers, you start to do the things that you need to do to prepare for a ceremony days before. So thanks for putting the space aside to allow this to happen.
Well, you're quite welcome, but like I said, this was just more than I was anticipating, and it was a remarkable day. On that note, I'm going to finish my tea and bid everyone farewell, I believe. Is that all right with you?
Oh yeah.
You're going to sit down here with the candles? I'll sit down here with you.
We got one that decided it was done. The rest of them look like they still have a ways to go.
Of course, you know, Mist would love us to come and watch an episode of Supernatural. We're watching Supernatural for the first time as a family.
And God forbid she won't watch, she will not watch it now unless we're all together.
That's right.
She won't get ahead of us in the game. No, we don't need to stay down here with them. The candles will be monitored remotely. I'm going to let them burn the live stream going on its own now for the rest of the night. Or until whenever.
Well, you're going to be down here, right?
Oh watch Supernatural too.
All right.
Trying to decide if you want to go upstairs or not.
No, I'm waiting for you to turn off the, oh, we're leaving that on?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right.
Oh, mine, not connecting. Okay, I'm with you now.
You're with me now?
Yes, I'm with you now. Well, let me, I want to finish.
Did you
my
feel like
tea.
that news anchor on live TV that was just waiting for the camera to?
Yeah,
pan
I'm
away?
like, when are you gonna turn off the camera? Okay, all right. Well, let me have another sip of my tea.
You can have your- Oh, thank you, Susan, for, there's been a few people today, I want to say really quick, that logged in at 9 a.m.
Yes,
and has
please.
stayed online watching this whole thing for all 12 plus hours.
I know Susan is one.
Christy is
Christy
one.
Reed is one.
Others have been, if not on all day,
Off and on,
off and
bouncing.
on all day. So Angela and
Shelby.
and whatnot. So thank you for that. And Susan, the contribution that you made consolidating our lists and making sure that we were on track with that does not go unnoticed. And thank you for helping us make this a really enjoyable cauldron burn.
All right, I'm gonna go finish my tea.
Yep, you do that. I'm gonna go get a drink, cup of coffee actually. I'm gonna let the candles burn their way down for a while. I'm gonna keep the camera going, but this essentially concludes our involvement on the camera for the rest of the night. Stay magical. Gosh, you know who I have a lot more
It's
respect for
lovely
now?
tea.
It is lovely tea. You know who I have a lot of respect for now? Those telephone people that used to do the 24-hour telephones live.
Oh, yeah, like Jerry Lewis or.
Yeah. I want to take pictures of this. You know how many pictures we've taken though?
think a tissue box should kill it in the artsy fartsy department. The corkscrew became an important tool of magic
Who's still with us watching the candles burn? Comment who you are if you're still here. Looks like 3 of you are. You did a nice job putting this together. It looks pretty. I'm particularly fond of my faux flames.
I just think it just feels like home for a change.
Mm.
Not that the bus didn't feel like home, but
We never felt like we were home wherever the bus was at. Christy Reed's still here. Sandra Noisewater's still here.
oh, lovely. I'm still here.
I'm still here.
Callie is still here.
Did you enjoy today's live stream? Aww.
I think that was a yes. Her tail is wagging.
Yeah, it was. Christy said she just wasn't ready to leave.
No, we're not either. So we're just back here for a minute too.
It was sweet, the noise Callie made.
Matter of fact, I wouldn't mind going to sit down again.
Okay. Won't be able to read any of the comments popping in, but Sandra said what a beautiful sitting area. She enjoyed watching. It is a beautiful sitting area, isn't it?
Would you bring my tea, my love?
Yeah.
Well, here you go. Look at comments on this thing. Whoops. Oh, I need the little napkin as well. I'm gonna turn my cup over soon. Gotta have a napkin. Oh, man.
This really is a beautiful little. I mean, we're slowly kind of turning it into the duckering station that we have here at Coven Stead.
Bless you. Would you like a tissue?
So, hi, Callie.
Okay. Come on up. Don't sit on the tea. Hello, hello. Okay, so knock the tea on the floor. Reverend Patience won't appreciate that, but I don't mind at the moment. She would say that was just perfect. Don't sit on the tea so she knocks it off.
Yeah.
Classic. Classic Cali girl.
She sure is affectionate.
Ooh, that feels good right there. That feels good right there.
She feels, I think, a little neglected today.
No, she doesn't.
You don't think so?
She's been getting all kinds of love from me.
Oh, okay. She's gonna get bugs.
Do you need another one? Oh. Goes in my hat again, huh?
At least this time you know what knocked your hat off.
Thank you for sitting by me. I'm gonna move the tea.
Did Did you hear or see when something grabbed your attention earlier today? She went running off into the
Yes,
little side room there.
yes. I did see that.
Yeah, Christy, when Callie gets into a singing mode, it's kind of cute. Back at the Coven stead in Fort Townsend, she would go outside on the front porch with us, put her front feet up on the railing of the porch and just yip and sing and howl at the coyotes down on the field below us, tail wagging.
You wanna come back up here? I can share. Oops, I just moved the whole bench. Jeez. Glad to have you here, girl. Hope Aunt Chrissy doesn't watch this video. What are you doing?
She smells something that got dropped down there. With all the wedding receptions held in this building, it wouldn't be surprising if there's a French fry stuck down there somewhere.
Please don't let there be a mouse. Please don't let there be a mouse. She sure is interested,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Hey,
So I think,
what are you doing? Go.
I think the couple of folks that are
Let
still.
it go. Let it go, I say. Let it go. Let it go.
I think the,
Let it go, girl. Let it go. Let it go. Sometimes I can get her singing with me.
Mhm.
Let it go. Let it go. No, no, I said let it go.
She's persistent.
She is. Ah.
I think that a couple of folks that are still here deserve to hear about what happened after the ceremony when you stepped outside.
So I was waiting for Grymm, who just obviously didn't want to leave this space. I mean, he was up here taking pictures, crying out loud. And I decided, well, I'm just going to step outside on my own. It's chilly out there tonight. It snowed while we were doing this filming today, so it's chilly out there. But I thought, you know, a nice breath of fresh air will be good for me while I wait for him. So I step out, and I immediately hear this dog howl, and it sounds like it's right around the corner from the church. And at first I thought it was this one, but she doesn't really howl like that. And then another dog howled just like the next block over. And then a rooster. A rooster started. Like, you heard it, right?
Mhm.
Grymm comes out and I'm
I
like,
come outside and she's intently listening
there's
at
like
something.
this cacophony of these
Yep.
critters, including a rooster. And I said, there's a rooster crowing.
I
It's
thought,
like,
at first I was like, no, it's coyotes. It's 10:30 at night. Come on. And then I hear it again and I'm like, oh my God. And then what did I do? Boy, if I was the neighbor,
If I was the neighbor, I'd be
mad.
mad. And I said, you are the neighbor, Grymm.
Guess I wouldn't be mad. Oh,
Funny, huh?
people listening right now are probably going, I guess you had to have been there.
I guess so. It was just this moment of, I felt like I stepped out and this like, the energy kind of stepped out with me and
Yeah.
the dogs barked and the roosters crowed and it was just,
The only thing that was missing was maybe a raven or an owl.
yeah, something flying off in the distance would have been perfect. Yeah.
You know, you and I in our relationship in the last, I can't think of a time that we ever lived in the city until Battle Creek.
That wasn't really the city.
And that really wasn't the city, we were just outside of Battle Creek. But
And that doesn't really count as a city.
no, that's true, but it was a surrendering of the open countryside, the sounds of the
That's
animals
true.
outside, the deer. We didn't get any of that over the last year. So when we stepped outside tonight and I heard those sounds, it really did, I'm in the country, I'm home.
Right.
Even if it is a rooster at 10:30 at night. And Christy said that they were serenading you.
It felt like something. Something was afoot, that's for sure.
You know what I thought was beautiful though, honey? Was earlier tonight when we had stepped outside, not this last time, but before when the snow was starting to fall,
Mm-hmm.
and just the small little flakes falling heavy, looking through the trees to that little street light across the street, seeing that glow through the twigs, the snow, it was earlier today when it was still daylight, there was no snow out, you had said, oh, that'll be pretty
That'll be
tonight.
really pretty tonight.
And I'm like, what? And later on tonight, it started, it was. Did you see, when you said that, it'll be pretty tonight, did you see it that way in your head, or is it just?
Yeah, because I was thinking I might need to come back out and try to take a picture.
You only have 3 people on, and they can barely see you, and also you're in over an hour in.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She takes that role of stagehand real serious.
You gonna sneeze? Achoo. Achoo.
Well, miss, we're gonna watch a couple of episodes of Supernatural tonight here in a few minutes. We're just sort of letting the energy of the candles die down a little bit more, and then we'll be back.
Cat's on now.
The actual live stream.
Christy is saying that I'm ready to watch Supernatural.
Yep. That's exactly what it was when you came down, wasn't it?
No, I got lonely.
No,
Tired
you
of-
said that. There's only 3 people. You're out of focus. You've been on for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Was that your way of saying, can we watch Supernatural, please?
I'm tired of stewing in my agony. Someone says that the animals were serenading you, Mother.
They were, Goop. Mom stepped outside when we were all done.
I know, I heard. I can hear you guys from up there. You're pretty loud.
We're loud, are we?
Well, that means the microphone's picking us up good and clear.
Christy says that it's mists time.
It is.
It is.
I want to turn this TV
Zoom do you guys?
a couple before we go upstairs.
Oh. Man, I forgot how weird YouTube live streams are.
What?
I forgot how weird the mechanics on YouTube live streams are.
Oh,
Like, I can't zoom in on you guys. You're just like blobs. Shadowy blobs.
because the lights are going dim.
Really, I haven't noticed.
I think I shall go blow the flames away. Or do you want to wait for we get that over?
No. I'm going to.
Oh my god, you guys are in black and white now. They're telling you to go enjoy Supernatural.
We are. I'll read that tomorrow. Want to take a picture of them.
I think that's Christy's way of saying, God, I've already been online with you guys for 14 hours. Give it up already.
I'm showing them Callie. She's on the couch. Just barely visible. Christy says, much love, and now no one else is on the stream. They've all left. They didn't wait to say goodbye to you. How terrible.
I wonder why.
Are you ending the live stream, Goop?
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
I don't remember how to do that, so give me a second. The X. Okay.